Okay. Let me turn my ridiculous synthwave down uh, so that it doesn't overpower me. Oh, hey, what's up, John? Uh, I was just reading your message on the Discord. So you guys were like talking about me. My ears are ringing. What's up, Carl? How you doing, man? Glad you're back. Watching me fumble over this. Um, my plan for tonight is I am gonna I'm good like it's been bothering me that I can't make a build of this game yet, like of any kind, and like the rule of thumb is you got to build often. And you got to make sure that everything works in a standalone executable. So to do that, I'm gonna need like a menu start screen and a game over screen, like a lose condition, basically. So that's what I'm gonna work on doing. I started placing these guys in the level, uh, just the same setup as as I had them in the as I've been working on them. So I'll just place them in here, and then I've been putting these target points, and then assigning these target points to their array. Um, and so forth. So yeah, that's my plan. So I'm gonna set these guys up real quick. Let me turn off that uh, volume and add one more. Oh, oh. Responded. I started to learn Unreal. It's really hard to learn. Yeah, man. I would say take it slow, take it easy, Carl. You want to just start very small. Start with their tutorials. They have a ton of videos. Even though some of their videos are using older versions of the engine, they're still valid. Just uh, getting the hang of how blueprints work, uh, or how I would start with like one discipline, like whether it's scripting or if you want to know how the art works or how environment art works. I would start with one thing and then branch out from there. Um, that's how it was for me when I had started this. But I had started this when it was Unreal 3, like UDK. Um, UDK was a much harder version of Unreal 4. Unreal 4 is like super duper easy compared to UDK. Um, yeah, I would just start small, like yeah, right. John knows. I would just start small. Don't let the engine overwhelm you, because I mean it's a lot, and like right now, Tim Sweeney is trying to like be one of the four kings of the earth. So he's like, he's getting his engine in everybody's hands, whether they're a game developer or not. So remember how you had to import meshes, and you'd go, oh God. It was so like there were so many rules for UDK. I remember there were triangle counts you had to adhere to, and like triangle counts back then were pretty strict, right? And I remember talking to professionals when I went to GDC, and they're like, "Oh man, the triangle counts are so much higher." So and like back then we were just like barely learning. We were like, "Man, like it's so strict." And then like the bones, like we just like we were trying to freestyle it on rigging our characters, and it was just like it was just much better to use their skeleton. Oh yeah, it was an experience. I still have a version of UDK on my machine. I wonder if I can go back to UDK using Kismet or Unreal Script. Ugh. Oh God, that Maya plugin. Yeah, back then the oh gosh. See now John is just like going down memory lane with me. Oh, this is disgusting. Yeah, yeah, like because there was no industry standard FBX back then. You had to convert it to like their own file type from your art program, and they used Maya. I remember CryEngine had that same thing. You downloaded CryEngine, and you had to install this stupid plugin into Max or Maya to export it from Max or Maya into CryEngine, and it was gross. It was so gross. Uh, oh man, those were the days. I'm so glad we're past that. I'm so glad universal formats exist. God. Oh yeah, that was why they had made Swarm Agent. There was there was no dynamic lighting. Like lighting had to be when you had to rebuild lighting, man, you might as well take like a lunch break, especially like considering how big your projects would get. It's like it's like you better have like everything in place because like once you put lighting in there, you needed to take like you needed to just wait, take lunch or something. We would take over like all the machines at night, overnight in the school, put a big sign on there that just said building lighting. Yeah, we would take over machines because like it was just like, well, for one, like no one else was like using the machines at the time. So we were just like, you know what? No one's using these machines right now anyway, at least not for anything productive. So we're just gonna use these. And then I remember at the end we talked them into yeah, Maya rendering was yeah, I know we at towards the end of our school year towards the end of our school year, I remember we took over the entire computer commons. At one point, was rendering every computer on our college campus. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And towards like the end of our school year, we managed to. Yeah, it still took 2 days. Man, those were gross times, right? Um, yeah, we at the end we took over the computer commons, and then another one of our teammates got the security to keep the classroom doors open so we could use the classroom computers to render something else or to build lighting on something else. It was like it was ridiculous. Um, man, but we got stuff done. Yeah. We had to like build ours overnight at one point. Got up, people were complaining. They're like, we can't use the computers to play League of Legends. Like, get out of here. Those were the days. Actually, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I know, and it really is easy. But like, I mean, honestly, like I would say like just accessibility wise and power wise, you can't really go wrong with UE4 anyway. I mean, I use Unity and Lumberyard as well, and like You know what? Lumberyard reminds me of UDK. Lumberyard is like reminds me of going back to UDK. You have to do everything manually on Lumberyard. And I've been using that recently as well. Yeah, I was only interested in Lumberyard because I always wanted to make a game, but it's just at it, and it's just a lot to take in. It is, it super is, but man, Carl, I tell you, just stick with it. It is very rewarding. It's very rewarding once you start to get the hang of things and you start getting things working. I promise you, man. Like like things start to click. Uh, and once you make your first like buildable game, um, it's great. Like it's fantastic, man. So I would totally like just recommend just diving in, man. It's super worth it. Sequencer is very powerful. I gotta update my machine pretty soon because like all this new tech like ray tracing and stuff like coming in, and like I don't my computer is old, it needs an upgrade, I need a better video card. Ah. Let's see. Yeah, those are pretty much the three major disciplines that you would end up kind of going into. Um, and then, you know, from there you can branch out. I like to branch out to a lot of things because, like, I wanted to get good at this stuff. I'm probably going to have to adjust these enemy placements at some point. But whatever. Thinking about getting a different character. I like more the art side, but I'd like to learn programming too. Yeah, I mean, start with art for sure. You'll have your hands full with the node based like material system, and that's enough like blueprints. Yeah, I mean, just branch out, man. We're coming up in a time where, especially when you're independent, specialists are not really like a thing anymore. So it's good to know as much multiple disciplines as possible, which is why I ended up learning a lot of animation. It can really help you. Anything you learn about this stuff can only help you. So, but yeah, definitely start with art. Start with what you're into, and then, you know, just like here and there, you know, like for instance, like the coins that I made. That's very light scripting, you know, and like it's very possible for you to make like an asset and then make it do something like spin, right? Like this. Um, this isn't hard to do. So I mean, like, if you make your own art assets and you can make it like uh, scriptable like this, you know, just a simple script like making this thing move, that'll take you very far, especially in games, because like, you know, if a designer or a programmer doesn't have to do something like that and you can do it, man, you're already ahead of the game. Oh. The editor didn't like the fact that I simulated. Sorry, Unreal. Sorry. God. God. Oh no, actually it hates something else. Oh, it's... Wait, hold on. Access none trying to read. Current game mode. Blueprint collectible. Oh. This is all part of the process. See, I introduced AI into my project, and something happened. Let's see. Access and then trying to read current game mode. Where's the current game mode? Where am I asking for that? Oops. Oh. 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 So that means that, is he overlapping this on start? How would I solve this? Collectible. Let me see if I can hack something together. because basically what I think is happening right now is that the AI is activating, and he's overlapping the coin, and the coin is freaking out because at the point that it's overlapping, this event, like the begin play event, hasn't started. Therefore, it doesn't know if this overlap actor is the player. It doesn't even know what to look for before it runs the rest of this. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to make a Boolean value that fires true after this begin play sequence has started, and then I'm going to give this branch, I'm going to ask this branch another question. Basically, it's just going to be, can you get the player reference from the current game mode, and has the game or has your initialize function began before you even overlap anything. So let's see. Oh. Still don't like that. Okay, so if it's not in there, then it's in the game mode player reference. So my player reference has not fired. So basically, let's see. Oh no, okay, that was for the collectible. Okay, so that did work. That did work. Okay, so the next... Oh boy, okay. So the next, the checkpoint. So the checkpoint is having the exact same issue. Okay. They're both doing identical script, so it would probably be... This event begin play runs first once they spawn, so it's having trouble running stuff because the AI is overlapping it before it gets the player that is supposed to be looking for the player. So, I mean, there's like, because this stuff, like the way that the engine runs off of like delta time and stuff, like it's getting it in like less than a millisecond. So that's why these errors are popping like this. So, let's see. There's a few ways I can go about fixing this, and I'm trying to think of the most prudent. Oh boy, what a whirl. Okay, I'm gonna... instead of going in each and every one of those and just telling it to make sure that it knows, it gets the player information first, I'm just going to go into the enemy. Is this the right thing? No. Actually, no. That's not going to work. Sorry. Let's see. That's what this check right here, where I'm asking it to check the overlapped actor and make sure that it's the player, is firing, but this can only fire correctly if the game mode is loading. I think that's what's tripping me out right now. And the game mode, I thought, yeah, Maya's an art program. It's like an industry standard 3D art program. But I mean, nowadays, I would also say that you could probably learn, you know, stuff like Blender or Silo or something, and still learn the basics of modeling. It's mainly for like if you're looking for industry standard stuff. Maya is probably the best, one of the best ones to learn. I learned 3ds Max, which is also the. Yeah, John doesn't like Blender. I mean, like Blender is gaining popularity, but I mean Maya or like Autodesk stuff is a good one to learn. The only thing is that like Autodesk, like I've moved away from Autodesk because they are like, they're just like Adobe. They're committing highway robbery with their software, and I don't like that. But you know, it doesn't hurt to learn them. You can get a student license for both of those and download them. And you can also export an FBX with their student license. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting they have Maya Lite. They have a Lite version you can subscribe to. But it is still a subscription thing, I think. Okay, I've gotta. Damn it. Let's see. I mean, the reason I referenced the game mode was because I figured that would launch first, therefore I would have the reference to the player in the game mode, and then I would only ever have to pull that out. But am I lying to myself? I'm gonna try something. This is gonna be mildly annoying if this works, because then I have to do this with everything. Whereas I thought that I had. Well, I mean, I get whatever. This is my fault. I assumed I could find a catch-all. This is what happens when you try to find a catch-all. This is what happens when you try to find a cheap fix for something. Oh yeah, dude, I like that. That'd be cool. That would be way cool. I would not mind that at all. More the merrier, man. I would be down for that. Yeah, man, for real. I'm way down, dude. I'm super way down for that. Um, okay, I'm gonna see if this should probably give me errors, but this should also fix one of them. Okay, so it still gave me errors, but it fixed the collectible. Yeah, John, let me know, man. I'll be super down for that. Okay, that fixed the collectible script, which is this one. Uh yeah, dude, I'll make time. I'll make time to stream earlier. I'm more than I at work at 5 a.m. I know. I'm sorry. I just there's so much stuff that like I have to do during the day, and it's just like, oh. But I'm down for getting a better schedule to like when I get home. I just need to sit down and start streaming. Is what I need to do. Get this over with earlier. But yeah, dude, just let me know. We'll schedule a time, a way better time, and you know, we'll get this going. Okay, so I still need the game mode, but I also need to explicitly reference the player. Okay, this is it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. Yeah, sorry it's so late, man. Later, dude. You have a good night, man. Okay, the player pawn. I was supposed to like make a menu and stuff. Okay. Okay, so this should clear most of this. Okay. So that cleared the collectible and the checkpoint bugs. Access not trying to get. Oh, I think there's. That's because I didn't set an array. This might be. I think this is going to be easier to set. To fix because I think this is just these guys, right? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Easy enough. So what those errors are is just the fact that I haven't made an array for these ones. 3, 4, 5, 6. So okay. And then I can copy this guy and it should work. So if I play and then I do this. Alright. All errors are taken care of. That was mildly annoying, but this is what happens. So, but I mean, that was good. It was good to like address that because you don't want to go in blind on some of that stuff. You want to introduce all your systems together at once as soon as possible. That way you can confront those errors. So back to what I was actually going to do. So what I need to do I need to, let's see. Sorry, I'm reading something. Oh, cool. Okay. Just got an email. Let me pick some more music. Hologram. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to make a start screen. The way we make start screens, I'm gonna make a new folder. I'm gonna call this UI. And the way you make UI in here is you right click, and the piece of information you need to use is user interface, and it's a widget blueprint right here, widget. So I'm going to name this start menu, and it loads up this menu here. So this is kind of a standard UI template that you'll get in most engines. Most engines will have a tool that looks like this. And you know, you drag in, you know, like this is a button and some text. Title, and then we can anchor it. Anchors just mean like where the pivot's located. Alignment is like where this is aligned. I'm gonna align this halfway. So okay. But anyway, let's see, position Y. Oops. So I'm going to make a very bad looking game title. And I'm going to pretty this up a little later. I don't know if it'll be tonight. I just want to get this thing working. Let's see. I'm going to, what am I, like, blind? Here it is, okay. Whoa, goodness. Keep this in the center. So I'm just going to give this a working title. Oh, 3D platformer. I know. It's super creative. And you know, I honestly, I put my most creative talents into this stuff. No, that's I'm being facetious here. Okay, I'm gonna put this on the 5th layer, so it'll be like way up front. Make this like a loud, ugly orange. I'm going to anchor this in the center. Give this a 0.5 justification. We're going to position that. And then I'll put this on the 4th layer. These are buttons. So, basically, I'm just gonna have 2 buttons, start and exit. Alright, so I'm gonna put in text. Blah. Start text. Start button. Actually write start on here. Make that center justify. Okay, we don't have any fonts, so later I'll import a font to make this look real nice. Let's see. Oh, there's VR. Categorize dynamic entry marks. Let's see. Special effects. They just got the background blur, which is cool. I'm all for background blur. So I'm going to put this on layer 1. And I'm going to anchor this in the center as well. And I'm going to go this end to end here. Then I'll throw an image in here. Left justified. This I'll keep as this I'm solely using for its color. Like, I'm not gonna be putting an actual image on this. Okay, so where's the effect on this? There it goes. Yeah, I'll just throw some blur on there just to accentuate. None of this really is like has any really sensible design to it. It's not really good UI design or UX design, rather. This is just a quick and dirty menu that I'm putting together here. People are making noise in the house. Put my studio name so that they know who made it. Okayed. I'll put my actual logo down there. I gotta actually redo my logo. Okay, and then, oh, yeah, I gotta put another button in the bottom here. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Just check up on my family. And I went and got me, made myself a, got me to make myself a little drink. A little bit of vodka and 7-Up. Just to relax me a little bit. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Right. And then we're gonna actually do the background here. Exit. Okay. All right, whatever. This will do. So this will be my menu that pops up. So there's a few things I got to do now in terms of functionality. Now you could make animations with this, which is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna make some animations for this menu, but actually I just want to see what this looks like without that, and then let's cover that whole thing. Let's just do that. Okay. Whatever. All right. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh gosh. Okay. Let me just get this over with. I need to make this functionality work where either your mouse click works, or if you have a controller, it's got a little cursor. And the way I'm gonna do the cursor, actually, let me just. This is traditionally how I just kind of do this without any sort of graphics at the moment. I just have a little selection cube thing right here, so that it's ever so subtly kind of, it looks like it highlights the button, and then when you say, oh, I gotta put the exit button in this. What is this for? I'm gonna do this 2, 4, and then like I'm gonna script it so that you can move it down. Now, the exit button's not the same size as the start button, which means I would have to shrink this. But instead of shrinking it, Let's use some nice round numbers here. I'm just gonna 240, 80. And then I'm going to reset the X position. What? Oh, crud. There it is. What the? This should be... Oh. Okay. So now they're the same size. And I guess I'll just up the exit size. So typically you wouldn't really want to make these two buttons the same size. Actually, the exit font is a little too big. I want the start button to feel a little more important than the exit, but I don't really want to. I don't really want to color this cursor well. Okay. Here I am getting caught up on details on this. But just to show you what I'm thinking of, so what I could also do is this. I could, oh god. Where is it? What the? So what I could also do is this, that I could just have this hanging out on here, and then it could just switch up and down like this while you select. And in fact, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'll just make a proper graphic for it. That way I don't want to bring so much attention to this exit button. Yeah? Yeah, I like it too. Just because traditionally you just don't want to like highlight your exit too much, and then like you could still go up and down like this. Zero that out. And then I can just pretty this up. So at the moment though, I'm going to give this a round number. It's good to just go through these positions on the side here and just round off these numbers. That way it just gives you a nice round number to work with for your positioning. So negative 253. And then 47. 12. Okay. Negative 956. Let's just throw that to 19 by 20. Throw that to 430. Let's do this to 1080. Negative 537. Then 237, 67. Okay. This drink tastes really good. Although my ice is melting because it's so dang hot right now. Okay. So all of it's rounded off, so now I need to do the functionality. So what button is that? I didn't label a button correctly. You want to rename this stuff as renaming all this stuff makes it easy to manipulate later on. So it's just like renaming layers in Photoshop. How do I usually do this? Okay. So for the menu, I have to call tick. Let's see. Huh, there's a lot of functions I could override. Cursor select. Okay, what do I need to reference? I need to reference the image cursor. Oops. I need to get the image cursor. And manipulate it. Key. Nope, that's the wrong one. Controller, I think, is the thing that I need. And then I need a key. Here we go. Let's go down gamepad. Pad down. This is going to be some scripting garbage right here, but you know what? I just don't care. Let's see, gamepad, left thumbstick down. This is going to be an or boolean. And then I'm going to set render translation. Translation. Can I get this? I'm gonna split this. Split these. Split these. So X stays the same. Y. We're going to add 500. Let's see where that takes us. So I also don't have a map for this. So you need a new map, a new level. Empty level. We're gonna save this in our maps. Let's call this menu level. We're not gonna oh yeah, at the rate that I'm going, it's probably like, you know, driving you nuts, especially like I'm not very good at explaining this stuff, but literally all this stuff I learned one by one. So like all this UI stuff I just took like a month or so, and I just learned strictly UI. You know, so, but before UI I learned scripting, so that's why I still know how to script this stuff. But like if you're into UI like this, I would say look up their tutorials. Like I said, don't try to like, don't let me overwhelm you, man, because like it's like I'm throwing in a bunch of concepts that I just know. Just go at your own pace. Just go at what makes you feel comfortable. Dive into UI on its own and just learn that and get used to it and do things in it. You'll get it. Once you understand like the basics of like how this works like logically, that it becomes a little easier. Just take some time. But you know, don't let the time get to you. You know, like I said, I started this stuff in 2010. I'm not the best person to learn something. You know, it's taken me a while, but I stuck with it. You know, I I wanted to be good at this stuff, and I just put my mind to it, and here I am, you know. Persistence, but as long as you know keep doing it, you build value. Okay. Now levels have their own standalone blueprint. Most tutorials will have you kind of learning in the level blueprint before you start making your own. Create widget. Fun tip, your player index for a single player game is always going to be player 0. If you do multiplayer, each subsequent player will then add +1. So, but for most projects, especially if it's like a single player thing, you're always player 0. Okay. Add to viewport. No problem, Carl. Hey, you take care, man. You have a good night, and you know I'll see you whenever I see you, man. Keep on learning. Don't give up. Yeah. So there's my menu. It runs. Although that blur looks kind of tacky, I'm gonna have to adjust that because I just don't like it. Well, now I just can't see that damn blur. Oh, I'm so hard to please. I'm just so hard to please. There's no point to this blur if I cannot see it. So I'm going to quickly do this. Um, I mean, I guess against the backdrop, how does that look? I would need an entire background image. My blur is too strong. Just blurring everything out. Is that just me? Am I hallucinating? Oh no, it's the resolution. Okay, I was like, why is there like those black lines there? But it's the resolution. Okay, that's whatever. That's fine. It looks like it's offset because of the way I have those two colors. Hey, remember when I told you guys I didn't want to get caught up on the details of this stuff, and now I'm getting caught up on the details of this stuff? Okay. Doesn't matter. That's a little too far. Let's do 100. Okay. There's totally a better way of doing this, but I'm just gonna hide. I'm just gonna hide this. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so now I can't go back. Okay, so So basically, to go back up, it's just a polar opposite, right? So. And then I just gotta ask it if that's indeed what it wants to do. Just gonna clean it up a bit. Yay! It works! Okay. Now I have to do the same thing but for the mouse cursor. Now here's what I'm gonna do. It's got to be different. Well, it's going to be the identical behavior. So for when I select the actual thing. So these two are literally the same thing, but the reason I just did that is because I actually am going to reduce this down to its own function of exit select, and then I'm going to reduce this one down to start select. Now within each of these, they're going to have their own variable. Well, it's just going to be the same variable. Exit selected. So they're just going to ask the question, are you selecting exit or not? In this case of exit select, this is going to be true. In the case of start select, we're going to select this to, or we're going to keep this to false because exit wouldn't be selected. It's just a yes or no question, basically. And with that boolean, I can then reference that for when we press the select button, or when we press like to start the game. So let's just quickly test this. This still works. Yes, it does. So now the cool thing about this is that I can now hover my mouse. Whoops. Mouse. Let's see, get position. We need to show the mouse. So we need to set show mouse cursor. So this basically just says that at the beginning of this, because typically we don't show the mouse cursor, but right now, since we're in game, now this shows the mouse cursor, and I selected, or I hovered over exit and it did it, so which is fantastic. Now start button, whoops, on hovered. We'll do start select. Reusable bits of code. So now I should be able to hover both of these and my mouse does it, and then if I do it with the controller, it does the same thing. Heck yeah. So now what I need to do is I need to make another function called option select. We're going to see how much fighting game terminology I can put into this. Because I love me some fighting games, which is what I'm going to be playing right after this. So, option select is going to check first controller. I'm going to check for a key. Oops. Please key down. It's going to be gamepad. We'll just do the A button, or if you're on a PlayStation controller, it'll be the X button. Get some more music going. Okay, so it'll be the X button. Oh, my dog wants to get in my room. Okay. I had to let my pupper in my room. So oh yes, okay, and then for the mouse it'll just be on click. So yes, so and I'll do a we'll try it with an and. Boolean. If that's true, then we quit game. So let's try that out. Let's just ignore platform restrictions. I'm not like I'm gonna put this on the console or anything. Well, let's check the other thing. Let's see if we can start the game. And we'll do let's do a not and so if you press it and you're not on exit, that must mean you're going to start it, and then we're going to do an open level. We're just going to directly call this. I don't think that there's probably a better way to do this, but I'm going to just call it directly here. And we'll see if this works. Oh wait, I don't have the... I'm trying to do it with the mouse. Let's do it with this. Oh. It would really help. Would really help if I threw this on there. An actual loop. So, oh wow, okay, so it quits and it starts the level. That loading was like ridiculously good. Oh gosh. What? Attempted to access weapon pending kill, huh? Well, we got another error. What are we doing now? Notify hit state. So huh.
Good night, Kazan.
Oh, good night, love. Give me a second. That was my niece. She wanted to tell me goodnight. So, anyway. So I don't know what that error was about, but apparently it resolved itself. I'm not going to fight it, but it might just be how I've got the menu set up here. So anyway, it's got this all works. I can't kill the enemies just yet. Checkpoints work. No errors. Sweet. Oh my goodness. So I'm almost ready to actually make a build. What I didn't get to today was I wasn't able to make a lose state. And that's because one, like, I could die, but like I start over. I don't have a death limit. Like right now you just die infinitely. I don't know, maybe I should put in some lives. The enemies can't hurt you, so I can't lose to them just yet, and I don't have like a ending goal for the level. So, but I do have like the start. I do have a working menu. It's ugly, but I will make it pretty later on. But as of this moment, it functions. I got the select cursor, and then the mouse also has the same functionality as the controller. It exits itself at the moment. It starts the level. So I need to put the click function for exit and start. So that the mouse can do the same thing. Oops, option select. Okay, so I don't have the platform restrictions on there. Okay, cool. Okay, so right now, I've got all that working. So let me just. Okay, the mouse exits and the mouse starts the level. Cool. Alright, well, been streaming for a little while now. It's been almost 2 hours, so I'm gonna call it here. Thank you for watching me this far, if you're still in the chat. Thank you to my friends for joining me earlier. Next time we'll work on making a lose condition so that the game can officially have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and I'll have a working skeleton and a working game loop. So, alright, thanks for watching. I'll check you guys out later. Peace.